All right, Lisa, let's do some news.
All right, here we go. First story. Robert De Niro has welcomed his 7th baby. He is 79 years old. Robert, not the baby.
His wife's like 45, 46.
Is she
Girlfriend.
the mother of all 7?
Girlfriend. I don't think the mother of all 7, although
It seems improbable.
He's famously got the jungle fever. I don't know if we're allowed to say that anymore.
I don't think you can. But here's the other thing. Where's the scorecard? Robert De Niro versus Nick Cannon.
That's right.
Yeah, I'd like to see.
I mean, the two of them and Elon are trying to repopulate the earth.
Yeah, Nick's at like 13. De Niro's at like 7. Would you want to be De Niro's kid? I feel like
30 years ago.
sounds good. I feel like there's some pressure, though, with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, if there's 7, you're really splitting that inheritance quite a few ways.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, her name is Tiffany Chen, so maybe she's Chinese. He doesn't date white
Don't say
women,
it.
I think.
Oh, I thought you were going to say something else.
Well, that's disappointing.
He
for me.
doesn't date Italians or white women. I think he dates black women and Asian women.
Boy, I'd love to see the hat collection in that house.
There's a lot of hats going on there. All right, well, good for him. He's 79 years young, cranking out kids. And she got pregnant, I guess, at 44, 45, which is a tall order.
Yeah, I mean, how much of his kid's life is he going to see? Like 3 years? And then he's out?
Yeah, I mean, but
I mean, I don't know. How long do we think he's got?
We have a president that's 80. So he's
It's
fine.
not-
But
he's
listen,
fine.
he's fine. You don't need. Here's the thing. If Robert De Niro is your dad, you don't need physical Robert De Niro around. He's played every single role, and there's 2 hours of footage on it.
Yeah.
So if you want young, tough, streetwalker kind of Robert De Niro, you got that one. You got Meet the Fockers' dad. You can just sit there and watch a sort of AI version of your dad.
Well, we're 5 years away from a Robert De Niro hologram raising these kids anyway.
Yeah, there's so much footage of him that he's never going to leave. He's going to star in 1,000 movies. After he dies.
I mean, you could probably hire somebody to cut up all the footage and edit it into him being a father.
Well, he was on. Remember that Meet the Parents? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Wait. Meet the Fockers.
No, it was Meet the Parents first.
I thought that was Steve.
No, but De Niro.
Meet the Parents was first.
Meet the Parents was the first one?
Yeah, then Meet the Fockers. Now, I used to play basketball with Gary Shandling and Jay, what's his name, who directed those? Jay, God, blanking on his name.
Roach?
Roach, yeah, Jay Roach.
Is it Jay Roach?
Yeah. He would direct them, but he also played basketball with us. Really nice guy. And one day I got a call out of the blue from the studio confirming that I existed. And I said, what's going on? They said, we're doing Meet the Fockers, and we've got a character named Orny Focker, sort of named after you, but it would be gratuitous and would screw with our ratings if we couldn't prove that you existed. And I said, yeah. They said, do you have a problem? And they said, no, I would have liked to have been cast in the film.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just drove by. Let's talk about that. We talking about the writer's strike? Because I just drove by Warner Brothers, and I'm hundreds of people. And I'm looking at these writers thinking, not one of you wants to write a show about me or for me?
You're right.
You want me to have any empathy?
Yeah. And not only that, probably listening to the radio at the time thinking one pop star can't write a song about Orny Adams?
Yes. Yeah. Well, remember when you were upset that who was the rock star that you had contacted in jail or something? And remember that whole story?
Lil Kim.
Yeah. So
that's my assistant.
Right.
But yeah.
So you get it.
I know what it's like to love and lose.
When is the last time a strike did any? I mean, like picketing. I remember in the old days, people used to get into fistfights on the picket line, but now it's
they're shutting down productions, which is pretty nice because they're showing up before the Teamsters, and Teamsters won't cross a picket line.
Oh, okay.
So they're shutting down productions pretty much every day.
The picketing sign hasn't changed much in about 150 years. Have you noticed that? It's still a fucking stick with a piece of cardboard stapled to it. There's no technology can replace that.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, think about how society's evolved since, the 30s when guys were down at the dock with the picket signs, or the 40s when they're picketing GM or Ford or Chrysler or something.
It'd be fistfights.
It'd be fistfights, but from a
Same
technological standpoint, the exact same sign.
Here's where it's changed, and I don't think it's helping, is they're all pre-printed. And this is a writer's strike. I'd like to see a little writing.
Oh,
there's a blank
right.
space for you to
like
fill in your own little thing.
No. If you write greeting cards for a living, are you going to buy a greeting card at the store?
No.
Or are you going to write your own?
That's right.
Here's one I thought of. On the sign, you write, "I'd rather be writing." Mm-hmm. I'm not even a writer, and I just came up with that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. No,
How about this? Screw the studios.
these are all...
Not even a writer.
Yeah. Well,
Not even a writer.
I would argue that you should go down to the picketers, look at their signs, and tell them it needs punch-up.
Yeah.
You guys need to...
Let's see how that works for you.
I'm going to order some pizza.
Yeah.
We're going to stay late, and we're going to see if we can punch up these signs a little bit. Because you're right, for a creative group, they're just not that creative.
There's some fun ones.
Are there?
I've seen some
Let's
fun
find
ones.
some fun ones.
And in the meantime, the wood that they're using, if this wasn't used for these signs, what is the wood? Is this fence wood?
It's kind of pickety, pardon the pun.
Is there an actual picket section of picket woods that...
There's a picket fence.
Yeah, okay.
And there's always a great Civil War general named Pickett.
So is that where picketing comes from? You're using picket fence wood and you're picketing.
I think we may have just stumbled onto something here, because picketing doesn't really mean anything.
Like, where's that genius with the Urban Dictionary phone call guy?
Picketing must mean the slat from a picket fence with a sign put onto it.
Which would mean it wouldn't be picketing if they didn't have that wood.
Right. All right.
ChatGPT this. Wrote ChatGPT just.
I don't know what that one means.
They're trying to say that ChatGPT couldn't write correctly and that the words are all jumbled and everything.
Oh, okay. All right. I didn't get it. Yeah. Can we see if picketing, what the origin of picketing is, and if it's from a picket fence?
That sounds logical. I feel like we can just say that moving forward as a fact.
All right. Make it a fact.
Why don't we put that in the Urban Dictionary?
Mm-hmm. Our therapist keeps saying we have to stand up for ourselves. So here we are.
These aren't my favorites.
Sorry.
Right.
Yeah, you see, my whole thing is just...
if you're going to make a broad statement, you should be able to back it up. You know what I mean? Like,
would you think this was out of line?
Of what?
I walk around throughout the picketers, the writers, and I go, look, I'm staffing up for a sitcom. Not now. I don't want you to be a scab or break the lines or anything, but... This picket sign that you made, unfunny and boring.
Yeah,
so you're not on the list. That guy over there is funny. That's a turn of phrase.
Yeah.
That guy's a wordsmith.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to go over there and I'm going to go, look, when the dust settles, we're staffing up. Yeah. And I like your sign.
Right.
That's like a writer submission.
Right. That's how you staff.
How about this for another sign?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no.
I wrote this before the strike. Do you see? A lot of my stuff is intelligent, and really, all my signs need to be pushed to the front when there's a red light, and people have time to read and process.
Pass me a list when I'm at the picket line this week.
I'm spitball. This is all off the top of my head. If you question,
I did have this idea where I have you film me showing up with like 7 pizza boxes.
Oh, let's do that, please.
Let's do that.
They're empty?
So I can get on Entertainment Tonight, and then one falls off the top and pops open, and it's empty, and then we just panic and run.
Yeah. I think we should do that. Is there any sales on pizza in the area? Because we're not paying full price. But
no, we're buying empty boxes.
Yeah. Oh, we are.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, we're getting empty boxes. I don't even know if we're going to purchase them.
No. How about this? The one on the top has a pizza. 6 underneath, no
smooth.
pizza.
You're right.
So we get out of Dodge,
That's
and then
right.
We pull back a few minutes later.
Yes.
Yeah.
Smooth.
You know what's interesting? This is a complete transition, but I feel like it's time. I notice, and this is the only show I'm on that this happens, that people will comment on social media afterwards that they think I have the voice of an old man. They're shocked when they see how young I am in the video. Have you ever thought that? Be honest of me. Either of you.
I've never been shocked.
No, I think you have the sensibility of an old man. And I think that's what people think when they hear you. The tone is reminiscent of an old man, but the sensibility says it's 1974 and you need to get off my lawn. That's the sensibility. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Little, All right, a little Gran Torino. Wait, picket. The origin of picketing. Is it from the picket fence? Oh. Where did the term picketing come from? The term itself is from the French word piquet, meaning a stake or a pole. Yeah, it's from picket fence.
Yeah.
Tent fence. We got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not too sure we had to credit the French there.
Yeah.
We could have skipped the first line.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, why do we have to credit them? It's always from the...
Yeah. Sorry that they were around before us and came up with words that we would have come up with for the same item.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
We would have... And who knows? Our word would probably been a lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now we have to use theirs.
I do hate the French, but they know how to protest.
Yes. All right, what else we got?
Next
Wait,
story.
what were we talking about? What was the last story?
Oh, Robert De Niro and his
Next story.
7 kids. All right, Ray Liotta died of silent killer that affects half of U.S. adults over 45. Something called pulmonary edema.
Edema.
All right, well, drag me, everyone. Yeah, he's been dead for a year, so it's just as exciting to find out.
Yeah. Look, we're all going to die, but I like when they include you, you know.
Yeah.
If you're a male and you're over 45, there's a 50% chance.
Yeah.
All right, so statistically,
Orny
or me is not going to make it out of the studio today. That's us.
Yeah.
No,
we're there.
It's like these commercials where you're just sitting around enjoying your day and all of a sudden they're like, you know, that somebody's happy in the commercial, like, I just ran my first marathon. I've never felt better. And they're like,
Right.
Shingles doesn't care.
That's right.
What?
No.
Shingles
doesn't.
Good for you. Shingles doesn't care. The disease the virus that causes shingles is probably inside of you.
I don't think aging.
I don't like the life insurance ones.
Yeah.
It's always the sober 50-something-year-old woman with her kind of lazy husband sitting in the kitchen, and she's always like, Did you hear what happened to the Kragnowskis?
Yeah.
Like, Vern's dead. And then she looks at him and goes, Do you have life insurance? And he goes, I'm working on it, honey. Which is kind of a weird thing. Like, she should go sign him up. But yes, life insurance, shingles.
Shingles doesn't care.
Nothing. Nobody cares.
Good for you.
Right.
Shingles. They mock you in the car. Yeah. Shingles doesn't care.
Yeah, I love that getting older just means every day you find out about a new disease you've never heard of before.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's within you.
It's a lot of weird skin stuff going on. And
by the way, cancer's inside of you and doesn't care.
That's right.
What does care?
Not Dave Matthews, bus driver. He doesn't. Well, I was going to say he doesn't give a shit, but he does. All right, what the hell we're talking about? Oh, next one. I'm tired of Ray Liotta.
I didn't even know he died. I feel horrible.
Oh, God.
Poor guy. What an actor.
I loved him. DNA confirms woman kidnapped over 50 years ago is Melissa Highsmith.
Oh.
I had that in the pool. Yeah.
You had her in your kidnap pool?
Yeah, I did. I had that name. Yeah.
This is not a story I would have remembered. I have no idea. I'm like, okay.
I'm a news junkie.
Good for you, Melissa.
Yeah.
So she found out who her like biological parents were or something?
Through 23andMe.
But she didn't know before that?
She was kidnapped by her babysitter when she was 22 months old, which...
Oh, really?
Yeah. You stop making money then.
Yeah, as a babysitter,
kid, you're done with the job.
Fucking almost zero referrals after that. Because babysitters all word of mouth.
Can't build it unless she's billing the parents while she kidnapped them.
You've taken
all
out
those
the expense.
You know, kidnap your kid, but I'm still babysitting the kid.
It is
technically.
Yeah, you do have to, as the person that was kidnapped. It is kind of flattering. You know, it's kind of like when a gay dude hits on you. Yeah. You're kind of like, well, I'm not gay, but thanks. You know what I mean? Like, because she probably babysat a lot of ugly babies.
She had her choice.
And then was like, ooh, I'm taking this one. Like, there was something nice about that baby. I would look at it as a feather in my cap if I was kidnapped by the babysitter. A, it meant that my behavior was impeccable because you don't kidnap a pain in the ass kid.
Right.
Kid's running around with a spaghetti colander on his head, smacking everything with a wooden spoon. You don't go, I want another 50 years of this.
Yeah.
You had to be easy on the eyes. Like she had to babysit you and fall in love with you.
How much of her parents' appearance do you think she took into account for future appearance of the baby?
I wonder.
Oh, you mean like mom's a little portly,
whatever it is,
or maybe
yeah. And let's take time.
So the parents must have been good looking.
Let's take time. I hope so. But let's take time to sort of think about the feelings of all the babies that weren't kidnapped by that babysitter, because they have to live with the fact that they were not kidnappable.
Passed over. Yeah, I wonder also.
Not to make light of kidnapping.
They'll do stories every once in a while where like the kidnapper, like the babysitter kidnapper, lost her infant, at childbirth or something, which somehow makes it semi-acceptable. But it's like saying, Orny got his car stolen. So anyway, he stole that other guy's car because his was taken. You'd be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
It's still a crime.
It's justice.
You shouldn't get sympathy because you got your car stolen.
Or she can't have kids.
Oh, can't have kids.
That's probably number one answer. Can't have kids.
Yeah.
And how about, sorry, I'm just on a roll. I'm fired up today. Right?
Yeah.
What if because she's a professional babysitter, so she's seeing a lot of families. What if she felt this family wasn't taking proper care of this kid?
Oh, okay.
Maybe this was a righteous.
I don't know. See, this is 52 years ago or 50 years ago.
Yeah, over 50 years
There
ago.
were no professional babysitters. There were only neighbors.
Yeah.
I babysat. I was not a professional at all.
Can't imagine.
If there was a fire, I would have been the first one out of that house.
I need to know how old this
I would have run
babysitter
back,
was.
grabbed a tub of ice cream, and ran back out to the lawn. And I'd just be sitting there looking at the flames, eating Haagen-Dazs. Like, there's no way I was a professional babysitter.
I wish I could make this up, but I was in Florida last week, and the lady who drove me to the airport, the car, sometimes the car drivers talk too much.
Oh, yeah.
So she told me that her house caught on fire. She was in the house and ran out of the house. It caught on fire. And so I was always curious. I go, what would I grab? So I said, did you grab anything? And she said, I grabbed my father's ashes. And I thought, that's the one thing that could have survived the fire.
Yeah. I grabbed one of the sterno logs from the fireplace.
Right.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
First off, an urn is impenetrable.
Yeah.
You could put that thing in a kiln for 4 days. It would come out the same.
Is it distinct from other ashes? I don't understand.
Well, I mean, what's the worst thing that happens? It's, what is it called? Re-cremated?
I don't know, but you invented a religion. No, I think if I was to answer for her, I would say most of the damage, or a lot of the damage caused by fires, is water damage, ironically, because the fire department comes in, they start spraying the hoses. Maybe the ashes would have got knocked over and, swept out to sea. That would have been an argument.
Just like in Meet the Fockers.
For comedy's sake,
Parents.
I'd say you gotta. Yeah, I was thinking of Father of the Bride with Steve Martin, by the way. But you're right. She's right. But I think comedically, this could still work for you.
Yeah, I think we'll see it tomorrow night at the Improv with you.
We will.
Here's another
tonight as you hear this.
Here's another cause of death story that sometimes I think we don't need to know the cause of death. So there was a guy in Florida a couple months ago. They were, that frisbee game, the
Ultimate
disc frisbee or something. So they're playing it near.
Well, there's frisbee golf.
Yes, that's it.
Okay.
And it's on a golf course next to a water where there are alligators. The frisbee went in there.
Yes.
And there's a guy. Now, these rich people, they don't go get the frisbee. But there's a guy at nighttime that retrieves the frisbees and sells it back to the people.
Yes.
Okay, he's been doing it for several years. Well, one day he disappeared after looking for the frisbees. They found him a few days later, missing 3 of the 4 limbs. And the final line of the news article said, the coroner has still not determined the cause of death.
Yeah, I do love that.
It's a mystery.
I'm going out on a limb, or that sounds like a pun, but I'm going to say alligator attack.
Yeah, remember like 14 years ago in Crete, George W. Bush was giving a press conference and some irate guy threw a shoe at his head. And he ducked it. Right. But then the news, when I was watching the news that night, there goes, someone threw 2 shoes at George W. Bush. And then they paused and went, in their country, it's a sign of disrespect. You didn't have to add that commentary. We got it.
Well, here it's a great honor. So.
Yeah. Well, we haven't dealt with this before, so we haven't determined. There's a French word for this.
And now, Alcoa presents Definitely Not a Jew!
Oh!
On the Adam Carolla Show. Dateline, Fort Pierce, Florida. After an argument about allowing the dog into their bed, a 21-year-old man was found guilty of misdemeanor battery after assaulting his girlfriend with a pot of ramen noodles. Definitely not a Jew.
Is this a new segment?
Well, it's been around since, the radio days, I think. Yeah, Alcoa.
I feel like it's time
Alcoa sponsors it.
for you to maybe start explaining some of these things to the newer listeners, because I feel like, you have a lot of new listeners lately. Like, get it on, get it on, get it on, get it on.
Yeah.
Like, what is that?
Definitely not a Jew, or things that Jews would never engage in. It's kind of baked into the title.
So what is the thinking there? That a Jew wouldn't be eating ramen? Where are we?
That one was a little blurrier than most, but it's I'll forget. Okay,
Yeah.
The story you just told about the guy who was fishing frisbees out of the lake, who was eaten by an alligator, that would work for definitely not a Jew.
Yeah.
There's no
Do you
Jew.
want me to yell in the microphone like that guy just did? And we'll play the music behind it for not a Jew? I mean, I could.
I don't know if we have the bed somewhere, but
Bum, 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 bum. In Florida!
yeah, something in
Oh,
Florida.
man!
It involves reptiles and, aggravated assault normally. Stuff your tribe doesn't engage in. Thankfully.
The chosen.
All right, sorry. What else we got in the news department?
This next one is insane. Woman reacts after fiance's marriage proposal on piece of paper goes viral. What happened was this woman's now fiance proposed to her he put a ring on the counter in the bathroom with a little note on a piece of paper that just said, "Will you marry me?" And she took a picture of it and posted it on socials, and it went viral. And all these people on the internet are dragging him and saying that this is lazy and this isn't how you propose to somebody. I don't know where people get the time.
Yeah, I am very enamored with people and their abilities. Even I've never left a review in my entire life, or a restaurant or hardware store. I don't know. I'm sort of glad that some people take the time to do it, but I've never done it. I have no idea. This falls under neither here nor there. Maybe it's a joke. I have no idea.
By the way, it looks like the packaging that you open with your teeth.
Yeah, the piece of white paper, serrated.
I could tell that the counters are from the 1980s. That needs to be renovated. They need to pull back on the picture so we can see the Zales on the box, the ring box.
Where does the hole go to?
What do you mean, where's the hole go to? Let me tell you.
On the side of the coin.
I'll tell you. Oh, there?
I don't see the hole.
Yeah, that is for like
all these comments from people on the internet, and they're like, that's not how you propose. You got to do something big. I'm like, that shit is so embarrassing.
Would you punch a guy if he did this?
No.
I'd back up the honey wagon to a convertible if some bitch tried to pull this shit on me.
This, to me, seems like a joke.
Yeah, maybe he's joking around.
I think he's joking around.
Either way, the internet shouldn't be weighing in on this.
No.
Yeah, and maybe this is what she likes. Maybe this is how they communicate. Maybe it's an inside joke. I think just people need to settle down and mind your own business.
Yeah.
Back in the days when wine glasses were a reasonable size.
That's right.
And shingles cared.
That's right. That's right.
This shit would not be attacked.
I agree. Yeah, neither here nor there.
I just like the fact that he screwed up the E on me and didn't rewrite it. He goes, this note's good enough.
He's like, that's fine. I mean, look.
But I'm not going to criticize.
He's given her a diamond ring. Who gives a fuck about his handwriting? Truly.
How is that a good ring? I'm not.
I don't love it. It's a little pedestrian, but whatever.
How many carats do you think we're looking at?
No, I have no clue. I wouldn't even know a range.
I'll say 2.5. Oh, who the fuck knows? I don't know anything about jewelry. I don't trust guys that know jewelry.
Did she say yes? Did she object to this
She did
method?
say yes. Well, he went on to tell this story because after it blew up on social media, then this woman and her fiance were all embarrassed, and he was like, I guess she had been like experienced a lot of racial slurs in the few days leading up to it, and he flew across the country to be with her last minute, and he was just journaling or something and pulled this out of his journal, and it's like,
what's everyone's race?
Alone.
How do they even know the
How
race?
did race come into this?
It's a black
and so
couple?
She had some like racial slurs hurled at
really?
her in the days leading up to it. And so he flew out to like surprise her, I think
So they're a black couple.
Yeah.
Oh, this is ugly. Next time you do it in person, you ask her to get married in person.
That is racist.
What?
Say that again.
You ask her to get married.
I'm sorry.
Ask her to get married, black
thank you.
couple. That's what I'm saying.
You know what I would do? I would wait about 2 years. I'd let it settle down. And then I would, on this exact same counter, I would put a pile of cash, 100s, and a piece of paper like that, and I'd say, "Will you divorce me?" Question mark.
Yeah.
I think that would get the internet going.
Well,
I can tell nobody's vibing with this.
No, but you're reminding me of something funny.
Oh, I'm adjacent. I'm funny adjacent.
You're amused, you know what I mean?
Do I amuse you?
No, I've always said, and they don't really do it anymore. It's been replaced by the kiss cam, I guess, but I don't know. They used to do marriage proposals on the Jumbotron at the ball game. And if I ran a ball field, you know, whether it's Dodger Stadium or even you know, the Staples Center or whatever they're calling it now, the Crypt or whatever, I would just go. If somebody, obviously, you would come to the person and go, look, I want to get married, and we're sitting in row 13, seat B, and could you throw the thing? I want to do the thing at halftime or whatever. I'd go, yeah, absolutely, free of charge. We love doing it. But there is a stipulation, which is if you end up getting divorced, I need you back.
Yeah.
And we're going to televise. We're going to show that.
I think.
And we're going to have lawyers coming down.
Yeah.
The kids are going to be crying.
Excellent for ratings.
This is going to be funny because enough people would get married statistically that there'd be a divorce cam going like every third home game.
This is what I'm thinking.
And I'd watch the shit out of that, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I think you weren't here, but
guy shows up with the windbreaker with number 17 on the back of it. Pushes the guy out of the play.
It becomes the halftime show.
Oh, yeah.
We should update the listeners and the people watching on YouTube about Drunk Tank because it's deep into development now, but we should consider doing divorce cam, where in parks all over the country, people are enjoying a game but get served.
Yeah.
Divorce papers and/or get arrested. It would be sensational.
At ballparks. Yeah.
At ballparks all over the country.
Yeah. I would watch divorce game.
It's an instant hit.
It'll be the lead-in for Drunk Tank.
We could have our own network. I don't even know why we're pitching to these.
What are we doing here?
We should just do it and get it out there. We've been talking about this way too much. We're waiting for Jimmy Kimmel, who drags. The guy drags.
He's looking for antique sconces for the Drunk Tank. He
sconces. Really, could you just bash him more?
He needs 6 that all match, and it's really hard. You'll find like a pair or 4, but it's hard to find 6 sconces in the same antique shop. So that's what he's looking for, because he really wants to give it some ambiance.
Yeah.
The Drunk Tank.
Yeah.
So that's probably what he was doing. All right. What's the next story?
All right, last one.
Ugh.
Yeah, I know. U.S. to propose new rules for airline cancellations and delays. Biden administration is working on new regulations to require airlines to compensate passengers and cover their meals and hotel rooms if they are stranded for reasons within the airline's control.
Don't they do that already?
They do it when they feel like
I think you have to argue with them. Tell me if you guys. I have a theory, but I'm interested in what you think. First off, just in general, when it comes to flying, I'm sort of okay with it. People are way too emotional about it. They have too many stories. It's like I fly all the time and have had a couple delays in a couple of situations. Like over the years, though, this isn't a frequent situation or a problem.
Do you find the fact that you're getting shit-faced in the the bathroom, the airport bathroom prior to the flight is sort of easing the...
That takes the edge off.
Yeah.
That's what you're asking.
Yeah. My last 2 flights have been canceled.
Oh, really?
Canceled.
The last 2.
I was abandoned in Houston, and I had to hop on another airline at sort of my own expense, although they compensated me a little bit. And then coming back from Florida last week, second flight canceled. And that one was canceled because a flight attendant couldn't make the flight. And there's no backup. There's no anything. Yeah. The infrastructure is so stressed. And let's not forget, I'm the guy who, in Florida 3 months ago, was on one of the airplanes that they're talking about on the news that almost collided with another airplane on the ground. And we had to go around it and shoot back up.
Well, this is a tale of 2 different experiences. Because I've had bad experiences, but like by and large, for the money they charge and for how far you get to go and all that kind of stuff, it's not a broken system, but it's fine. Compensate people for what have you. But I'm more interested in like the border's a shit show right now. It's just a total shit show because we're canceling Title 8 or whatever it is.
42.
Or 42, sorry. And now it's just we're going to be overrun with God knows who. But the border's a shit show, and the economy's kind of a shit show, and then Ukraine's kind of a shit show, and everything's kind of a shit show. And I have this theory that politicians, when everything's a shit show, like the major debt ceiling and stuff like that, Hunter Biden and his laptop and doing business with Ukrainian energy companies and stuff like that, you go, I got an idea about dishwashers.
Yes.
You know, and you go, huh? Yeah, we're going to make dishwashers more efficient. And you go, oh, well, that seems good. Yeah. And then you know what else I'm doing? These baggage fees, I'm going to go ahead and reduce those. And anyone who gets a flight delayed or canceled is going to get a voucher for a Motel 6. And you go, well, all right, now finally something good's going on in this country. But I wonder if it's a weird intentional deflection from the more all-encompassing shit show that is this administration. And I do always think that, I always think about it like Gavin Newsom will do that. Like it'll be like there's fucking homeless everywhere. Every taxpayer's picking up and moving to Florida. The ones that don't go to Florida are going to Texas. The school systems are for shit. The San Francisco's had to call the National Guard to come in because people are like getting assaulted on the streets. And he's like, by 2029, all school buses, all electric. And you go, oh, we're living. That's a utopian thing. Like that's a you're out of problems thing. Like I always say this as an example. Like I'll go like, let's just say you had a son and he was deep into fentanyl and he was running drugs and he was toothless and he was turning out whores. And you're like, Bobby, we signed him up to learn Mandarin and Cantonese. Like you'd go, I thought he was a junkie who was running whores. I'm like, oh, yeah, no. Focus on the fact that he's going to learn Cantonese and Mandarin. And you go, well, that doesn't sound like a junkie who's running whores, but it's like a highfalutin thing when as the rest turns to shit. Is that going on now with the dishwashers and the airlines?
I think that's way more than a theory. I think politicians have done that since the beginning of time. It's like, let's do this other little thing, because then they can do their little vanity project and keep getting donations from whatever evil companies, and they don't have to worry about
right. So they could
doing
be
anything real.
They could be doing the dishwashers, so Whirlpool sells more of these new efficient dishwashers that are going to be regulated, and they could be more expensive. But I think as far as baggage and stuff like that, I mean, that was such a bullshit fee that these airlines imposed on us after 9/11 to raise enough money to keep flying. Well, they're making a lot of money now. And I think that's something that touches a lot of us, whereas immigration doesn't touch all of us every single day. A lot of these issues don't. And so I think the little things.
So you say airline baggage fees touch all of us versus immigration? I feel like immigration would affect us more big picture.
Maybe big picture, but it's not.
55% of the country never goes on an airplane. So
yes, half do.
No. It's like half the country never goes to the airport.
But half does. And that's a lot of people.
That's the math.
That's a lot of people.
From
yeah. And the other corner, I'm going to push back. I don't care what direction. You can go far the other way and I'll push back.
I'll tell you what you are, Arnie.
We're going to look at. Here we go.
You know what you are,
Here
Arnie?
we go. It always breaks down in the second hour.
You're like when my dog grabs a rawhide chew toy and I grab the other end. And I start pulling backward, but eventually we turn, and I'm pulling the direction he was pulling, and he's pulling, and we go full circle.
I love it.
Here's the point. He's just pulling the other direction.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a direction. He's going the direction you don't want to go.
I have zero views.
That's what I'm saying.
I'll
tell you what
research.
He does know.
I can't back any of this up. I just like to challenge a little bit. That's
all. All right. Well, anyway, I don't know what the...
My only thing about the airlines is after we bailed them out, I think we should have all been able to fly for free for a year because fuck you.
Yes, I agree.
And I'm sorry, is that more important to you than immigration?
Today, when I have flights coming up, I would like to fly for free.
Well, half the people never go to the airport.
They're lucky.
But they're lucky.
They're so lucky.
I don't know if they would consider themselves lucky, but we also, there's crazy statistics like, 41% of adults over age 35 have less than $500 in the bank. Like, it is mind-numbing. Like 50% of Americans retirement age are retiring with nothing.
Can anybody figure out where the money is coming from that everybody's spending right now? Because it is crazy. The inflation's crazy. Like, I understand that they're giving a lot of money a few years ago during COVID, but now I have friends that still aren't working. How are they? This is the only country in the world where you cannot work for years and still live in a house or apartment, have high-speed internet,
I have
iPhones.
I had a fantasy yesterday, which is there's a beach version of it and a valley version of it. The valley version is on the rare occasion I stumble into a Starbucks like on a Wednesday at noon and people are just bivouacked everywhere, just sitting around. Like, I want to yell, what the fuck is going on with you people? Like, why don't you have to be somewhere? I had this yesterday. I was driving down PCH on my way here at like 10:45 in the morning. And it was Monday. And I see these just gaggles of surfers, just 35-year-old dudes, 40-year-old dudes, all just sitting out there on their boards, like waiting for the next swell. And I literally wanted to pull over and get out of my car with a bullhorn and go, what the fuck is going on? It's a weekday. It's 11 in the morning. Where the fuck is everyone working? What are you guys doing?
I don't know what's going on. And the bigger problem is that good-looking people don't feel they have to work at all. They feel like they can make money with social content.
Yes.
It's time for us to shut down good-looking people.
Yes.
I'm done with them. I'm looking right into the camera. I'm done. I want to support average-looking people, like everybody that works for your show. Average. Ben is average. That guy over there is average. That's who we should support.
Yeah.
We should be going to bars and buying them drinks. Not the good-looking people. We shouldn't be helping the good-looking people put up their luggage. We shouldn't be promoting good-looking people.
Now you're against
Not
good-looking
against
people. What's happening?
No, I hope.
I'm a spokesman for the people.
I hope the dude with the number one that he wears proudly on the back of his gold jacket, I hope that guy's a fucking troll. I hope he has an overbite and male pattern baldness and can't grow a full beard. It's super patchy. I hope that guy just looks like shit.
Just
and he
like
wears
Ron
the number
Jeremy.
one proudly.
I can't wait to see the studies to see if there's any correlation between size and success. Because I suspect number one is somebody who's very successful already. It could be an NBA player. It could be a billionaire. But I suspect, that there will be a correlation.
That tracks. Because it comes with confidence.
Yeah.
Yeah. Big dick energy.
I have big comic energy.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I have.
And what has that done for you?
It's done a lot. A couple of houses.
No, I'm saying it would be interesting because they do the thing where they go, the average Fortune 500 CEOs over 6 foot tall. They don't have a lot of short dudes in there.
Yeah.
So this is probably akin to that.
Well, and again, it comes back to me not liking the good-looking people, because they have these studies where they show young children, impressionable young kids, they have no opinion of people, good-looking people. They go, who do you trust more? And they point at the good-looking person. Who would you rather be friends with? They point at the good-looking person. So it's like, and then I'm next to the good-looking person, Mr. Average. Kid never looks at me.
I don't know. I'd say you're better looking than average.
I disagree, but thank you. Thank you.
I disagree with you.
What are you doing later? You know what I'm saying?
We're waiting around to figure out what happened to Ray Liotta.
Oh my God!
Go home and sit.
By the way,
plaque off your arteries.
They found Ray Liotta without 3 limbs, and
in a
he died of natural causes.
You know what I think killed him is being in fucking Cocaine Bear.
Yeah,
that's his last film.
Yeah, that's now his legacy.
Did you see that?
It was horrific. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very graphic.
Did you see it?
Really bad.
Yeah.
In a theater, or did you get like a screener?
Brad Williams rented out a theater.
Was he in it?
No, he just invited his funny friends.
Didn't invite me.
Yeah, I'm just saying funny friends.
You always get, something happens to your blood sugar level towards the end of the show. You always attack me. If we could put together, if we could put together a montage of all my appearances where I'm attacked.
I think
you
I
just
hit-
compare me to a tug of war with your dog.
Like the young entrepreneur who was left in the swamp, I hit my saturation level with you, Orny.
Really?
Yes. All right, let's go out on a big laugh. That'll about do
At
it.
my expense.
Orny's expense. Although I've seen Orny perform live more than once. He crushes. Leno said he didn't want to go on after you.
Is that true?
No. He doesn't even hurt of you.
Doesn't hurt of me.
He doesn't know who the fuck you are.
Oh, I text with him more than you do.
Oh, bullshit.
Pull out your phone.
Oh,
yeah, pull out your phone. I have receipts.
I don't text him. I talk to him, bitch.
Oh, okay.
He called me yesterday.
Yeah, okay.
He
did.
Okay, show me on your call log. I want to see how long that call was.
No, okay. Well, my earbuds weren't working at the time, so I had to kind of cut it short.
Yeah.
We talked for several minutes.
He texted me.
You want to know what I know?
What do you know?
He was in Europe doing a TV show
We all know
about cars.
that. Yeah, we know that.
Went to Florida to do some F1 stuff. And he's back. He was actually crashing a motorcycle while I was talking to him.
Yeah. It sounds like you guys talk about a lot of surface stuff. Jay and I get into the deeper sort of philosophy of life and all that sort of stuff.
Is this?
He's like going, what do I want to... I want to talk about carburetors. I'm going to call Adam, right? You want to talk about life and feel better about yourself. You call me.
I talked to him. I was like, you're going to be sharing the bill with Orny Adams. He's like, I don't know, horny madams.
Oh, yeah.
That's what he said.
Yeah, okay.
That's what he said.
All right.
That's all he said.
Yeah.
I talked to him less than 24 hours ago.
Uh-huh.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's okay.
What do you got? You got a couple of texts?
A couple of texts.
We were fucking mano, man.
Yeah.
Just the old school voice.
Jay is very supportive of my comedy, and when I was on his show, could not have been nicer. Okay. And I think he's one of the coolest people in this business. And I don't talk to him probably as much as you, but he did call me when my special came out and was very supportive.
We'll see tonight if he knows you.
Listen,
I'll be in the green room.
Listen.
I'll watch him walk right past you.
You can have Jimmy. You got Jimmy.
Take Jimmy. I'll take Jimmy and Jay.
You got Jimmy.
The two kings of late night.
Yeah.
JJ.